Hello, Diva loves. This is Miss Sophia the Diva, and I'm back by popular demand. I did not come to play, I came to slay. Nah, seriously, but I do love that song. Y'all gotta admit, that Beyonce song is hot. It's been a minute since I've done a YouTube video. This is going to be a Diva Disturbed 11. I'm kind of just going to be on the fly. I kind of do have an outline I want to follow. I have continued to be writing. There's been a lot going on as to why I haven't done a video in a while. And tonight or yesterday, last night, I should say, because it's early morning here, my friend told me that her son actually enjoys watching my videos. And who am I to deny someone, and then one of my very dear good girlfriends also told me that she had missed and that they really helped her, because laughter is healing. But when you are not in the mood for laughing, or you need to be healed and uplifted, you kind of don't want to bring anyone else down. So that's kind of where I've been. Last year was an interesting year for me. It was a year I had a succession of losses of loved ones. And at the last end of the year, it just got to be too much. And I just needed to unplug and get away, which I have been doing. Actually, I've been traveling. I went to New Orleans in February, and last month in March, I was in Aruba, and it was pretty awesome. And ladies, let me tell you something. The men down there, oh, especially us sisters, they love us, honey. But anyway, I'll talk more about that. Having to grieve and go through a series of losses, and how you just kind of get on with them. I mean, the hurt never goes away. There is always going to be that void of that loved one, that person gone. There won't be any more of that laughing and joking in the moments that you share, but you have to keep pushing on and moving on and letting go. But like I said, mentally, I just hadn't been in a good place, but I'm going to try to get through this. So let's get into it. It's going to be a little comical, a little serious, as any other Diva Disturbed, but I want to talk a little bit about reality TV. I'm not sure if I'm going to be reviewing Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, but I was in this class that I'm taking on personal growth and development, and how we need to push ourselves to be more intentional about our growth. It's essentially the same thing as saying, some people like, I've been praying and asking God, but what have you been doing in order to allow God to even see that you're worthy of this blessing? So basically, that's kind of what I'm doing. It's not that I'm even like, I should say that I'm not working. My problem is that I will start a project and not finish it. For instance, I have an official website that I'm getting ready to launch that will be that will encompass both my comedy as well as my fashion. I will be blogging, doing videos, and just kind of just going through and just getting everybody ready for whatever. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of, it's exhausting. I think it's like 3 o'clock in the morning here. But it's just one of those things where I'm getting ready to do that. Hopefully that'll be up next week. I know my web designer will be happy. She's like, geez, you probably, I procrastinate, but I have the best intentions of getting it done. So let's get into it. Reality TV. In my class, it was brought up the fact that reality TV, be it scripted or whatever, you can learn a lot from reality TV, and it's true. Let's start not Real Housewives, Love and Hip Hop ATL Season 5, Episode 1. What the hell is wrong? I was just like blown away. Mimi Faust. Once again, she has made an entrance. The Diva is here, honey. And I want to let y'all know that I got a new love in my life. Oh, Lord Jesus. essentially with Mimi, here's the deal. This child was born in this world essentially set adrift. For pretty much most of her life, she's like been passed around, um, and just not loved. And I don't think she loves herself. 'Cause girl, what are you doing? I mean, it's talking about, season 5, we find out she's in a relationship, and this time she's in a relationship with a woman who goes by the name Chris. So you can have someone named Chris and people not really think, well, is Chris a dude or is Chris a woman? So we all like, what the hell? Now I'm talking about, yeah, and then have the Chris, yeah, gay for Chris. And I'm just like, oh God. So I don't know. I don't know. At this point with Mimi, we just don't know. Is she doing it for show, or is she doing it because she don't know? Isn't she don't know any better? I mean, let's just take a look at her history. We know that for 14, 15 years, she was actively involved in a relationship with Stevie J. And, Stevie J then in turn leaves her, gets Jocelyn pregnant. Her and Stevie share a daughter together, Evie. And even Stevie J has mommy issues too. And also just it's funny how you have Mimi and even Nene from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Both of them have mother issues. Stevie J has mother issues. Their mothers abandoned them essentially for something else. Nene's mom abandoned her because I think she probably looked at Nene as a part of her life she would have liked to have forgotten. And essentially, essentially she left her to be raised by an aunt. But at the same time, I think that maybe in both cases, maybe the mothers felt like they would just be better off without them. Is that a fair assessment? Let's just be real. Kids don't come with instructions. We don't. And I know it's not hard I know it's hard being a parent because you don't have all the answers. No two children are the same. No child is the same as others, although we would hope, I know that some parents would hope that their kids would be like such and such, such and such. That's a terrible thing to do to your kids, by the way, is to say, I wish you were more like so-and-so's daughter down the street. She always does. You don't know what she really does. Trust me. I'll put it to you this way. When I first moved to LA, there were some people I stayed with that the family had the impression that this individual had their shit totally together, and they didn't. They were a hot mess. I'm like, y'all need to get her to a detox treatment center. Yeah, she's book smart, but that's all she freaking knows and has no life skills other than to drink her life away. And then when she dies, it or keels over and has like some liver dysfunction, everybody be like, well, what happened? So, you just never know. I'm just going to say that. So parents, please don't be trying to, tell your kids that you wish they were more like such and such child and this. You just never know. But back to the subject at hand. So yeah, Mimi is now gay with Frankie Lyman. For the life of me, I'm not part of that community, so I don't know and I don't get it, but I don't know. But either way, I don't know how to wrap my head around it, but let's just look at Mimi's track record here, shall we? So Mimi, when she came on the scene, as I said earlier, Stevie J had a baby with Stevie J, Lil Eva. Then she progresses on and gets involved in a relationship with this dude named Nico. When we first seen Nico, first of all, we were all thinking that he looked like the homeless man on the PJs or some Ice Age character. I mean, just not an attractive dude. And, you know, when her friend Kay Michelle tried to tell her that she suspected he was gay or someone right about dude, he wasn't. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I know what I want and I know what I need. And he gives me all the attention. Girl, he gave you a knockoff Rolex. Okay, let's just be real about that. He's corny. He was a corn pone, and you shouldn't have been messing around with him. And quite frankly, I thought he was gay anyway. Because when his wife, Margot, which by the way, that's another thing. How, Mimi, how did you not know that this man was not married? You could have went on BeenVerified.com. Done something. You ain't got no friends that are attorneys or paralegals that have access to LexisNexis. You totally could have had a background check done on them. And they totally could have found him anywhere in the world, including Canada. So, you know, and even when we found out Nico was married, in my mind, all I was thinking was, this is a beard for a beard type of situation. It's like, hey, I'm gay, you're gay. Let's get married to cover this shit up. You do what you want to do. I do what I want to do. I be with women, you be with men. It's all good. So, I don't know why I'm actually still doing stuff in this daggone computer is trying to log off. I don't know what that's about. I just got a Mac and I don't know what the hell I'm doing with it. I'll figure it out at some point. Let's see what else. So what else do I want to highlight about Mimi? Essentially with Mimi, what we see is someone that now has progressed from being used and abused by men to now feeling that she needs a woman. And even if it's not because she legitimately feels she's a woman, she is selling her soul. Let's just be real. Her mama sold her out for Scientology. She did not want to be a parent, so she chose Scientology. Anyone who's ever seen that documentary Going Clear, which is given from the point of view of people who were in the Church of Scientology, but in turn left because they found out that this shit is crazy. Like, really, a spaceship is going to come fucking get me. Okay? But... So mom, and the way that Scientology do it, by what they told us, I mean, it's kind of, you know, I don't understand. You just throw the kids in a damn nursery and they hope for the best. Maybe their diapers get changed. Maybe they get some sort of nutrition. You know, I don't know how true it is. All I know, they say some of the Scientologists you meet are some of the sweetest people you're going to meet. I can honestly say I've met Tom Cruise. I didn't get a bad vibe from him. You know, you meet people sometimes and get a bad vibe, but you're not really sure why, even though they're the sweetest people. With Tom Cruise, I totally felt like he was a sincere, genuine, good person. He just happens to be a Scientologist. You know, but with Mimi, you know, your mom abandoned you for Scientology. I think something tragic happened to, her brother, and then her dad recently died, I think like 2 years ago, and that relationship was kind of broken too, but in the end it ended up coming back together because I guess they some kind of way they reconnected. I don't know the whole story, but you know, and pretty much I think now she's alone in this world. She feels like she doesn't have anyone but me, myself, and I have a body, a little person to be responsible for. And I think it's great that she wants to provide for her daughter. You know, I just feel like Eva probably will be a little confused now. Like, I have two mommies now and a daddy and a crazy Auntie Jocelyn. I mean, hell, honestly, I'll just say if Mimi is really in a relationship with this stud, I think that's what the community would call a stud. In back in the day, old folk would say things like dyke and bulldagger, but I don't think those are appropriate terms now. But I think it would be. I think she would be considered a stud, and Mimi probably would be considered a lipstick lesbian. Which one of the things I was surprised about with Mimi is that she didn't go after Ariane. And I think that Ariane probably feels some kind of way about the fact that, damn, sis, really, we could have been together in a relationship. But I mean, you know, it could be for show, or it could be because, you know, Mimi just simply doesn't know any better. So I think because she is now alone in this world, and because she has made a series of bad decisions when it comes to relationships, I guess she feels like, you know, if this is a legitimate relationship because it's born out of, well, hell, I've tried everything else, so let me try this now. And maybe I'll be in a relationship. And one of my friends asked, she says, well, if you want to be with someone like that, why would you, oh shoot, what happened to my camera? Oh, why would you, why would you want to be with someone that looks like Frankie Lyman? I mean, I have no idea. I just know me personally, I don't engage in that type of behavior. That's not my preference. And I have some good girlfriends that are, and I love them dearly, but that's just not my thing. Lord, I'm using Lonnie B's terms. I love listening to him in the morning. Gets me going, keeps me on my toes, where I gotta be. But I do want to say this with Mimi's. Here's the thing. The bottom line is this that I've always said about anything. And Cat Williams actually says it best. Even in his delirium and his craziness and his madness during this mania period he's going through as he deals with his bipolar disorder that he doesn't seem to think he needs help for, is that you gotta have something to believe in. When you don't have a value system or any type of system that keeps you on some sort of moral code or something to believe in, you gotta have it. You need God, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Hindu, God, Rocket Man, whatever it is. Find you something to believe in. Because when you don't have anything to believe in, you fall off to the wayside. You're a hot mess. And I hate to say it and be extreme, but sometimes you just put yourself in a predicament to do more harm than good to yourself, i.e. suicide. So you need to get you some sort of faith-based belief system. I don't know, worship of some, I don't know. Find you something to believe in. Me personally, I find Jesus is the best thing, because Lord knows, given all that I've been through, especially in the past, I can say probably about 6 years of my life, Lord knows I could have taken myself up. First of all, if I wasn't afraid of the consequences of suicide, or even, it's just not worth it. It's messy and it hurts and it's a bit selfish. Because there are people out here that love you. But there are some people whose chemical imbalances simply will not allow for them. But like with Mimi, I think that she really just needs to get a belief system and perhaps give God, I don't know, the priest, I don't know, but do something. Let's see, what else did I want to say? And ladies, be sure to get them background checks. This is an age of where, we need to do background checks on our men. And, if you have unresolved issues with your parents, be wise enough to seek help. There is perfectly nothing wrong with getting help. Mental illness is real. Situational depression, all of that is real. And some people think that you can just shake it off. No, you can just shake it off. No, some people really have a chemical imbalance. There are some people that are so depressed that mixtures of different drug cocktails do not help them. And the sick, sad reality of it is that they could possibly leave this world at their own hand. So let's just be real about that. But get you something to believe in. Black Ink Crew. I don't watch this show consistently, but I did watch the season opener. Oh Lord, my foot going to sleep, y'all. And I was. Oh Lord, I'm going to sit here like this for a minute. I was surprised. And I'm trying to figure out, it is the 21st century and some of y'all are still stuck on stupid. Some guy on there, I guess, has like 3 baby mamas and 3 kids. And he don't understand how it is that he's put himself in a position to not be able to pay child support. Well, if I pay you more, I'm going to be taken away from the other kids. Bruh. And sister girl. Did anyone bother to think that it's not just on the woman to get on some birth control? You can get you some prophylactics. You can get snip. Y'all need to start taking responsibility. It feels good to make them, but it's painful as hell to raise them, especially because kids cost money. And you all need to take responsibility for that. What I do think is foul and messed up about the system is that if you don't pay, they put you away. They put you in jail, or they take away your driver's license, or they do something that just tortuously interferes with your ability. Now, if you're purposely avoiding the payment of child support, yes. But if you're making a concerted effort and you get behind, at this point, I'm thinking, forgive that shit and just move on. Because at the end of the day, you ain't gonna get no money. He in jail or prison. He can't drive to get to work. His job requires him to drive. Let's say he's driving for Uber, or he's driving for a limo or a taxi company. And then the other situation I saw, there were two things. I guess Caesar, that's the owner of Black Ink Crew, one of his baby mamas called in on him to the health department because she didn't feel like she was getting enough child support, where she was being petty and vindictive, but she was also cutting herself off. Women, you got to be smarter than that. You got to stop using these kids as a pawn, and you've got to get out your freaking feelings and stop trying to do harm. It's not good for the kid. It's not good for you. It's not good for anyone. And so now you've cost him money, which means you've cost your child money. So you kind of stabbed your own self in the back, being stuck on stupid. Then I guess Caesar and his fiance, she's trying to open up a tattoo shop down in North Carolina, down south. However, at dinner, at some point, she starts praying to the porcelain gods, basically. But she hadn't been drinking, and she hadn't eaten anything. She hadn't been eating enough for it to just turn right there immediately at the dinner table. So, to food poisoning. So she ended up, now she thinks she might be pregnant. Here we go again. You think you might be pregnant. What did you do to prevent it? What did any of y'all do? Y'all just want to jump right in it, but not think about the consequences of the fact that I could make another baby. And apparently none of y'all can afford to make a baby. Y'all need to get out. I tell you who can afford to make a baby, though, is that Janet Jackson. Now, what she can't afford not to do is not give these people back their money, because you want to have family planning time. In the middle of a world tour. First it was your throat was messed up. They wanted to test your vocal cords for cancer. As I can say, found some polyps. Now, my husband and I, my old ass, I'm 49 years old, and I've decided that I want to have a baby. And I'm like, Lord, Halle Berry, what have you started with these celebrities? Girl, you 49. But y'all know I'm a Janet fan. That, y'all, some of y'all would think I'm wrong for having talked about her new album. I was just giving my honest opinion on it. But she's canceling her world tour, possibly for the next year, and probably won't be until 2017 when we see her again, if ever. And that's the thing about these fall, winter, or whatever they're called, autumn, spring relationships. In this case, I think there's a 10-year age difference. When you marry older women and you want to have children, you need to consider the fact that men can make babies probably well until until the wheels fall off, until the big casket ride in the sky happens. They can continue to make babies, but women can't. Our bodies start to shut down. That is the cruelty of our lives, and that is a reality. Is that, hey, sometimes the diner is open, but it's not open 24/7, okay? So now she wants to have a baby, which I think is wonderful, Janet, but I have a feeling they're probably going to hire a surrogate, because even at her age, I don't think it would be safe for her to be trying to carry a baby. I don't know. I'm 39, and I personally don't want to have kids at this stage of the game. I'm a little bit selfish. I've just started living what I should have been doing probably in my 20s, but in my 20s I was busy getting degrees. I have a bachelor's and I now have a JD, which I don't even know if my JD is even worth a lot anymore, and that's part of my discouragement. I'm still not an attorney. I've been out of law school for 10 years. But that's neither here nor there. So I do understand, though, that I think it's Live Nation or Access, whomever was the ticket seller, they did decide to go ahead. Those that wanted to give their money back, want to get their money back, they would be issuing refunds. So I'm glad. I will say this from a contractual perspective, I don't think that Janet may have had anything to do with how you got a refund. That's up to the ticket seller. They broker a deal with the ticket seller, the talent does, and then the ticket seller takes their fees, and then the talent gets whatever they have. It could be a 60-40 split. It could be whatever. But either way, Janet, I doubt at this stage in the game, due to a piece of paper, probably had anything to do with it. But I think that the ticket seller felt, excuse me, the ticket vendor probably felt some type of way and felt, okay, fine, we'll give these people their money back, which is the right thing to do because there's no definite terms as to when she's returning. You said you were going to give us a concert. This is the date and time. And so, like someone else put it, I saw on one of my friends' pages, they essentially, what I've given you is a no interest bearing loan to hold my money. It's basically like putting in a safety deposit box. We all know if you put something in a safety deposit box, there is no interest of any kind accruing. So that's interesting. Let's see what else. Oh, I wanted to give I was driving to work, so I do, like I said, I continue to write. As a matter of fact, I'll be getting back on stage this month on the 17th doing a comedy show, because I haven't done comedy consistently either. I might do a show once a month, every 2 months, but it is nothing like it used to be when I was chasing comedy in the beginning when I started doing it. But I'm getting out of my funk, my depression. As Shonda Rhimes said, I lost my hum. I can hear my hum in the distance. It's coming back. So I'm going to start trying to do more videos. Shit, what the hell is up with Scandal? Shit! Speaking of Shonda, girl, I watched an episode this week. I need to go back and watch the others. Oh my God. Abby tried to jump fool on Olivia. What the hell? And then, what's his name? That was the VP that Huck tried to kill off. I think Huck did kill him off. He done came back talking about he wants some money. Like, bitch, better have my money. And I'm just like, well, damn. I mean, whoo. Scandal made my head want to pop off. Okay, but either way, maybe I'll start reviewing Scandal because it's getting back good. That show, The Catch, is good too, but I haven't been able to watch it because I want to be able to sit down and watch first. Oh, what else? Oh, so I'm gonna close on this. Tipping. Here's a word of advice. Given what people use to box in and have all of us defined by the actions of another that may look like us, especially black people, we tend to be categorized as non-tipping people, because what happens is when you have a series of black people that roll up in the Denny's, tripping out the Denny's, but in any restaurant where tipping or any type of service and we don't tip, they automatically assume all black people don't tip, and that's not true. Just like there are some people that are of the belief that all black people are lazy, and so therefore black employees will also be pushed and bullied to the point of even being bullied possibly because someone naturally believes that all black people, or innately believe that all black people are stereotypically lazy when that's not true. Hell, I'm just going to put it out there, to be honest, who was lazy was some people's ancestors. You just going to hire some people that are darker than you to do all the work while you sit back and sip tea and bully them. That shit was foul and it ain't right. But that's another tangent. Either way, all I'm saying is this. Tip. Anyone who is in a position of serving you, you need to tip. You need to tip your nail lady. You need to tip, or your nail guy, because I've had males do it. You need to tip your hairstylist. You need to tip your Sonic delivery guy. Anyone who's in a position of service, your bartender, all of that. Hell, I've even tipped when service was bad, because if I got my food, I'm good. I'm good. This video has gone on way too long. I may break it up into parts. We shall see if I can figure out how to edit. But that's all for Diva Disturbed. So anyways, guys, wrap it up. Keep it tight. Ladies, you too. Pop a pill. Take a chill. Um, get you something to believe in. Uh, start taking responsibility for your actions. What else is disturbing me? And be sure to tip. It's disturbing when you don't. These people work hard for their money. And I do believe that's it. Good night. It's a Diva Disturbed. It's Sophia the Diva. I'm back.